All right, today's video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Heroin 925 Swampy egg. Not a lot of videos out there on it. I did see at least like one, but there wasn't really much skating in it, so I figured I'd talk about it a little bit. I'll mostly just skate the curbs. It's a bigger board than I normally skate, so I'll probably just mostly skate the curbs and see what I can't do. But yeah, let's get warmed up and then we'll kind of get into it. I've only done probably 3 slappies on this board in total, so I'll kind of feel it out and see what I do and don't like about the shape, and yeah, give you my thoughts. All right, so I just got done. Didn't go too hard today. I don't want to save some of my energy for tomorrow. I think some dudes are wanting to film, so I didn't want to go too hard. But I did want to do a bunch of tricks and kind of like explore all the realms of this board. I think if I remember correctly when I measured it, I want to say it was a flat, this one was a flat 32 long. And then I think the wheelbase was just under 14 1/4. I think it was like 14.2 or something like that. So yeah, the dimensions are pretty good. It makes it so, because the board's long, or not long, because the board's wide, the shorter wheelbase kind of helps with getting it around and not making it not feel so cumbersome. Because of the weight, it still kind of does feel a little weighty, especially if you're used to smaller boards. If you're used to bigger boards, then you won't have an issue. But I usually ride like 838. The cool thing about eggs is like you can get a wider egg, and over the trucks it'll be something smaller. Like this is a 925, but over the trucks it's roughly like 875 ish, maybe 8.8 over the trucks. So you can ride like 875 trucks with it, and it's not going to feel like you're on a magic carpet, like you can't see your wheels or whatever. I did ride this with 875 slappies, the inverted hollows. Did feel really good with this board. They don't push your wheelbase out super far, so it still felt really turny. It feels like when you turn this board, it feels great. Doing some of the more tech type tricks, like if you start doing like some of the 270s and stuff, like I was doing them pretty consistent out of like the nose slides, but I did notice that it was like, it took more effort to get the board kind of around. But the plus side of that is because there's more surface area, it does grip your feet really well. So it won't go around as fast, but it will stick to you pretty good. I did try like a couple. I just learned crook nollie heels. I tried a couple of them, and it was definitely harder on this. It was harder, you know, you don't have a lot of time when you get off the curb. It's only like 5 inches high or whatever, 5.5 inches high. So you don't have a whole lot of time to get your board all the way flipped. So flipping out of stuff like on curbs it's a little bit more difficult on something like this. I know people do it just fine, and if you get used to it, it'll probably be okay. Not really my cup of tea for trying super tech stuff. Not that I get super tech anyways, but yeah, so I do like the concave. I like the length of the nose and tail. It's symmetrical, but neither the nose or the tail, whatever you want to call them, are too short. Like, it doesn't feel like when I try popover tricks, like no slide popovers, it has enough length and real estate to where I can get the leverage I need. So that's good. The shape of the nose and tail being like tapered like they are does feel really good for crooked grinds. It just feels like, for some reason, it just feels less, like there's less drag than a popsicle. I don't know if that's just me, but that's how it feels. There's so many bugs out here. Yeah, so overall, I think the board is really good. I like the way it skates. Like, if you're just going fast and you're doing frontside, backside slappies, crooked grinds, and stuff like that, this thing is fun. Like, there's no getting around it. Skating a board like this, a little bit wider, is fun. Like, there's a reason why people do it. It's a good time, you know. I wouldn't get like super tech on a ledge, not that I can, but super tech on a ledge or a rail on something like this seems like it would be a little bit more difficult. Board slide tricks obviously feels great because you can kind of push your rails out a little bit more with the width. Yeah, so overall, really good time. I like this board a lot. I'll definitely skate it more, but it's not going to be my everyday curb board. I just kind of prefer something that's a little bit more, a little bit smaller, a little bit more flippy. If I were to skate, I have tried their other eggs. The only problem with, like, they put out like an 875 anatomy of an egg. I think it was 875, and loved it. Loved the wheelbase, but they kind of made the overall length of the board a little too short. So, like, the nose and tail just felt a little too short for me. Like, if I could get a 32-inch length 875 Heroin egg, that would be pretty clutch. Like 32 or 32.1 even, because the little extra length, yeah, that would be good. Same wheelbase though, because I think it was like 14.12 on the gold anatomy of an egg, which is pretty rad. And that measured 838 over the truck, so that was kind of right up my alley for what I would like normally skate. That would be like equating to what I'd ride in a popsicle. So yeah, good time, really good board. I like it a lot. Like I said, it's not going to be my everyday board, but it does have its purposes and the things that it is good at, like good for. It's really good. Like the whole surfy, it feels like you're on a surfboard. It's fun, you know. It turns quick, especially if you got some turny trucks. I do wish, one other gripe, I do wish there was a bottom stain under this graphic. That bugs me, because I do so many nose and tail slides that like this will end up getting raw, and I hate looking at like just plain wood color. And it looks like the top ply too, or even on the sides, I think it's just wood color under there too. So there's no stain on the top or bottom, which is kind of blows. I mean, I know it's full dipped, but that dip goes away pretty quick. So yeah, it's not gonna be too long. Had a fun time. I'll put out some more videos. There will be a New Balance numeric. The next video will probably be a New Balance numeric 440 V2 vid. I'm gonna review those because I loved the New Balance 440 so much. That was like my favorite cup sole. The V2 looks pretty rad. I think it drops next Friday. Don't quote me on that. If it does drop next Friday, I will be getting them immediately, and I will put out a review, initial impressions on them. Yeah, next weekend. So, anyways, I'll catch you guys soon. Let me know. Drop a comment if you like this. If you'd like me to review some more interesting, unique boards, I'm down to do that. If you want to see some more shoe stuff, I'm down to do that. If you want to see some more trick tips, I'm also down to do that. So, catch you guys soon.